Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurani binti Abdul Rahman. My metric number is 2022498006. Okay, now I will present about my topic. My topic is water supply is benefits for people. Okay, the main indicator that I choose is the number of people using hand washing facilities in Bangladesh from 2010 until 2020. Now, let's move to our topic. Water is an essential component of life, not just for people, but also for animals and plants that impact ecosystem. It is a necessary gift of nature to satisfy the demand of daily living. Humans require water resources to survive since they can collapse without it. As a result, water availability is critical for survival. This is the sample data for the number of people using hand washing facilities in Bangladesh from 2010 until 2020. For 2010, it is 24.42%, 2011, 27.94%, 2012, 31.43%, for 2013 is 34.90%, for 2014 which is 38.34%, for 2015 is 41.75%, and for 2016 is 45.14%, for 2017 is 48.50%, for 2018 is 51.83%, for 2019 is 55.13%. For lastly is 2020 is 58.40%. Okay, now let's move to the interpretation of descriptive summary of my data. Okay, the first one is mean. Mean is a measure of a trend in statistics that represent an average of a group data. It is determined by adding all of the value in the data set and dividing the total number of value. Based on the data, the average rate of people using hand washing facilities in Bangladesh is 41.62%. Next, median. Median is a measure of a trend that indicates the middle value of a set of data. The calculation for median is we need to structure from the small amount to a large amount. Then, select the middle of data as a median. The median for my data is 41.75%. Next, mode. Mode is the value that appears the most frequency in a set of data. For my data, there is no mode throughout the 10 years because data does not repeat or have the same number. Each year from 2010 until 2020 has a unique amount. Next, mode. Mode is the value that appears the most frequency in a set of data. For my data, there is no mode throughout the 10 years because data does not repeat or have the same number. Each year from 2010 until 2020 has a unique amount. Okay, next, standard deviations. Standard deviations are used to determine that amount of variance in a low distribution. Low standard deviations indicate that the value are near to the mean, whereas high standard deviations indicate that value are spread out throughout a wide range. The standard deviation and a sample variance for the value is 11.27308147%. Next, skewness. Skewness is a measure of a probability distribution asymmetry. It measures how far a distribution departs from a normal distribution in terms of tail behavior. A positive skewness implies that the distribution tail is longer on the right side than on the left, whereas a negative skewness suggests that the distribution tail is longer on the left side than on the right. For my data, the skewness value is negative, which is negative 0.034754323%. Okay, next, kurtosis. Kurtosis is a characterized a probability distribution to that of a normal distribution. It compares the pickedness or flatness of distribution. In my data, the value of the kurtosis is negative 0.11995275%, which is smaller than 3 and is referred to as a plethysmoric because the data is dispersed around the base, the tail is lighter and the distribution is more consistent. This is shown in the scatter chart below where the trend in the graph is climbing. The transfer of deadly infection which required individuals to wash their hand on a regular basis is a common factor affecting the facility's hand washing rate. Minimum is the smallest number in data collection, while maximum is the largest number in data. Sorting the data set in ascending order is a simple approach to identify this value. As a result, the minimum value in this data is in 2010, which is 24.42%, while the maximum value in this data set is 58.40%. Okay, now let's move to the hypothesis testing. There are 5 steps to make a hypothesis testing. The first step is determine the null HO and alternative H1 hypothesis, which is the null hypothesis HO is that the mean rate of people using hand washing facilities is greater than equal to 41%, while the alternative hypothesis H1 is less than 41. Next, we need to choose the significance level or alpha, which is 5% or 0.05 of significance levels is chosen as it commonly used for my data. Third step is we need to select and calculate the test statistic and the critical value. For the t-test statistic for my data is 0.181338%. The critical t-test value is negative 1.796. Okay, the first step, we need to decide the rule determination. Okay, if t value lies on shaded region, reject the HO. If p is less than alpha, we need to reject HO. But if P is more than alpha, do not reject HO. Okay. For the last step, we need to draw a conclusion. For this case, the T value lies on the non-region area, so do not reject the HO. Another way is by looking at the P value. Since the P value is 0.57030047 is greater than the level of significance chosen, which is 5% or 0.05, we need to do not reject the HO.